Good morning. I have to tell you, I'm so excited this morning, and I had a hard time sleeping last night because I was so excited. So, yesterday I had posted on Facebook, what is it that you may need encouragement about, whether you're a youth or a parent. And there was only 2 people who messaged back, but those 2 people both said the same thing: parenting encouragement. So then, of course, I go to my source because I'm not perfect at all and I make mistakes. So I ask God to kind of help me as far as what is it and how is it that I can encourage other parents, because I still struggle with it myself. And it was pretty cool because something a couple years back, God kind of brought back to my memory, brought back to my mind, and it's through an analogy. So I'm going to need you to stay with me while I bring you through this analogy, and I promise you it'll be something that you can take with you throughout today. So with parenting, the first thing that I want to say is, in that this was T.D. Jakes actually said this when he was on an interview with Stephen Furtick. He said, we can see everyone else, but we can't see ourselves. So we think what we're doing is not good enough because what we see seems better. So that's the first thing that I want to put out there is we see what everyone else is doing, but we can't see ourselves. So we tend to be a little bit harder on ourselves. The next thing that I want to say is 3 things. God makes the blueprint. We are the manufacturers as parents. The kids essentially are the cars. Now hold on, just stay with me. So when we first get in a car, when we're first learning how to drive, or when we get into any car that's not like our own, what is it that we do? First, we fix our mirrors. We figure out the turn signals. We adjust the seat, right? And we make sure that we know where the gas pedal and the brake are. We investigate the car to make sure that when we start on our journey, we know how to go and where to go. So if something is wrong with the car, what do? We consult the manufacturer usually, who then in turn consults the original blueprint. Okay, the same is true with parenting. Now, just stick with me. So God gives us the blueprint, right? Who our kid's going to be and how they're going to be. We manufacture the child, and it's up to us to learn how to raise the child. If there's a problem, we usually consult the one who made the blueprint, or at least that's what we're supposed to do. But in order to do that, when we first get out in the car and we begin learning how to parent, what is it that we first have to do? Well, we first need to fix our gaze, fix our mirrors. What are we looking at? Is it our phones? Is it our jobs? Or is it our kids? Today we live in such a busy world that we're always go, 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 go. And when we're not, and we're taking like a brain break with the wonderful ways of technology, what are we doing? And I'm even guilty of it myself. We're looking down at our phones. So if we don't adjust our gaze, then we won't be able to see what is sneaking up beside, behind, or in front of our kids in order to best know how to direct them. The next thing is we have to figure out our turn signals. Should we take or teach them one way or another? If we just always go straight and we just let them always go straight ahead and never have them turn left or right, so never parent or direct them, will they ever get to their destination? Think about that. Or will it take longer for them to get to their destination? All right, the next thing that we have to do is we have to adjust our seat. Sometimes cars, you can go up higher, you can go down lower. I know for me, when it's raining or when it's foggy out, I have to sit up higher so that way I can kind of see a little bit better, and I'm not on the same level of the lights because I have astigmatism. So sometimes we need to sit higher to see above the other cars. We need to parent, essentially, is what that means. Other times we need to sit lower, so we need to get on the kids' level. We need to understand and actually see what they're seeing. Next is we need to make sure we know where the gas pedal and the brake are. These are to be used to either help speed up once they know where they're going, or slow down so they don't run into something hazardous. Okay, so where we mess up, where is it that we mess up as parents? Sometimes we just get in the car and we don't adjust our gaze, we don't fix our mirrors, we don't adjust our seat, we don't make sure we know where the turn signals are and that. We just get in the car and we just drive. And when something is wrong, we either ignore it or we try to add to it without consulting the one who made the blueprint. Okay, a child's life is going to have journeys and hills just like ours, and speed bumps. But how do we know when there's speed bumps? There's signs. Okay, so we know the speed bumps by the signs, and we look for the signs especially when we're driving. So fixing your gaze and adjust where you're looking. Adjust your seat at the proper time. So if it's rainy or foggy, sit up higher, which means if your child is going down a wrong way, or you need to direct your child or teach your child, sit up higher. Gas and the brake. Sometimes we need to slow down. Okay, we need to slow down and we need to be more observant. You know, when you're driving and there's construction, you usually start typically seeing signs, a lot of signs. And you have to follow those signs in order to know where you're going. The same is true. Kids will leave off signs. So we have to be observant and we have to look for what are those signs. Sometimes there's yield signs. So we need to slow down a little bit. We need to stop and we need to wait. We need to wait. Are you having issues, or is the car having issues? Then we need to consult the one who made the blueprint. God is the initial one who made the blueprint for your kids. He knows their calling. He knows the direction and the path that they need to take. And if we don't consult him, then are we continuing to keep our kids driving forward and not turning left or right? So then are they going to get to the calling and the passion that God has placed upon their lives? Or is it going to take them longer to get there? You were given this child because God gave you the blueprint. My friend Tiffany has a wonderful daughter. She has 4 wonderful kids. And her daughter she is gifted or given the tools and the resources to be able to parent her daughter. And she has that patience to be able to parent her daughter. If her daughter did some of the stuff if her daughter was my daughter and did some of the stuff, I would probably lose my cool. I'm just being honest. But God has given us these wonderful blessings. He has given us these cars or these vehicles, these kids, for a reason. Because he knows that we have what it takes. He knows that we have the blueprints because he's given them to us. So each day, you're going to have a journey with your child. And each day, when you have that journey with your child, remember to fix your gaze, adjust your mirrors, adjust your seat, look for the signs, know when to speed up and know when to slow down. But ultimately know you have what it takes to parent these gifts that you were given. these kids that you were given. We can't see ourselves in what we're doing because we see what everybody else is doing and we think that it's better. But just know you have what it takes. I hope this helps you, and I hope you remember every time you get into a car, you remember these tools as far as to parent. Where's your gaze at? I love you guys, and I hope all of you have a wonderful day. And you remember to fix your gaze, adjust your seat, put on your seatbelt, because you're going to have a wild ride with the blueprints that you were given and the kids that you manufactured. Have a great day.